he's serious in talking about Banjo.
I don't do a video.
I saw something about niche.
No, I believe him.
But you can tell us what he said because I was gonna read it. Then I tried to copy it. My phone wouldn't let me copy freaking the link, and then I forgot about it like 30 minutes ago. And then I got the podcast going, and I haven't chanced. I tried to skim it, but all I saw was something about StarCraft and Banjo, and him addressing it. So
I think it was just more of like interest, but I didn't.
Anyway, what's up, people? Make sure I got the chat open. Pop her out. Yeah, GTA 6 trailer just dropped. Ooh.
What? No, I thought that was until the 5th. I thought that was tomorrow.
They did it.
Yeah, somebody leaked it. So some dumbass
leaked.
Was it anything of note?
I mean, it's back. They're back at Vice City.
Yet, so I don't know.
The opening shots looked fucking amazing. It's got to be PC, I would think. I don't know, but then it's like a lot of it was shown through the in-game or just something they created for the trailer, like TikTok feeds was like a lot of the like showing what the shit happening in the world, fights and stuff happening through like it looked like a TikTok video. So I don't know if that's going to be something in the game or if that's just in the trailer. Like it was weird. I'm not going to play it on here because I keep getting any trailers you play. You get freaking it is.
Is it like I'm talking about? It's on Rockstar's page right now. Oh,
yeah, it's official. It's officially out.
Oh, it doesn't matter. The Mario Maker trailer
because it leaked.
They demonetized. Not that $1 for a podcast, but still, it just pisses me off.
Jesus.
You do all this, have all this like a layout set up,
$1.15. I mean,
and you play a 2-minute trailer that's just a freaking trailer, and they're like, "Oh, you use this copyrighted material." I'm like, "But I changed." It's like the rule is if you change something, enough, like literally, I had
fair use. Whatever happened to fucking fair use?
And it got denied. So it's stupid. So I'm not gonna play trailers, just not because I care about the dollar or whatever.
Well, I'm looking at it now while you guys are talking.
Just the principle of it pisses me off. It's like imagine if somebody's like,
right? It's the principle. I don't give a shit about a couple dollars. I just don't want people claiming shit that I worked on. Bitch, I did this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just a small portion of the screen. Like I've put together this stream where we have our own. Like
so we're supposed to lose the revenue for an entire podcast.
Yeah,
something you put up for 20 seconds. Fuck out of here.
Yeah,
man.
that's
bullshit.
That's why I said fuck it. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any faith in Rockstar to make the gameplay like significantly better. Even though from 3 to 4 the driving got a lot better. I don't think 4 to 5 there was that much improvement. But there's like the shooting and the general movement of your characters. It's just so freaking loose, and if they could just figure out like nailing the controls, I would be way more interested in the series, to be honest. So we'll see. Maybe
now you can't change it so much that the people who stand for it.
No, but goddamn, just like
what is this? This don't feel right. What happened to my GTA?
Just like trying to move around and get stuck on like telephone poles or the edge of cars, like you're trying to do a gunfight and just constantly getting stuck on things, and then it's
most open world games.
It's true. Like I mean,
it really is.
Hogwarts has some stuff where it's like, yeah, it's not quite as polished, but they're not trying to have this like super realistic like interactions with characters world. Like it's they're not trying to recreate like a real city and stuff.
Well, that was GTA.
I thought
I'm thinking like Witcher 3, I love Witcher 3. But goddamn, your character
I put
just does whatever the hell he wants.
Like Assassin's Creed 4 type of like that
noodle body motherfucker.
Yeah, just like Platinum Games ain't doing much. Just hire them to like handle a combat system in a game or something. It doesn't have to be full on action combos, but they have it's just crazy that these big franchises just have this like the combat system or just the movement is just so.
It's trying to do like the smallest movement when you're walking. If I can show all the clips, because I don't record myself, but I can show all the clips of me just trying to go in a door.
Yeah.
And it's just not working out because the controls are so jank.
They add too many animations, so you're just
Too
trying
many
to turn,
animations,
and
yeah.
your character tries to like plant its foot, or they have no animations. Your character just turns like a fucking car.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and
it's weird that they haven't figured this shit out yet. Like Zelda did this shit in '98, son. Like, why can't you guys figure this stuff out?
And then Jedi Fallen Order barely even a slope. Couldn't even walk up it. He kept get caught on like literally would be an inch, the size of probably the height of his toe, getting hung up on shit. Like, a lot of games
so
are
weird.
like that, and it's like,
the Ubisoft games, they're all like that shit, man.
Just do what Nintendo does. Don't try to look their feet. Try to look as realistic with contact. Just make sure you can go up the damn hill. Like, that should be your priority. Hogwarts, I had one instance right so far where I was like, what am I stuck on? It was just like, it was a bit taller, maybe like an ankle high thing, and it's like, just climb up this. Like, what the hell is going on? And it just happens. But anyway,
it happens in Spider-Man too. I've been playing Spider-Man for the first time.
Spider-Man's one of those. They were so focused, prioritized, I will say, on movement forward. Like, you just hold R2, and like he hurdles cars, he runs up buildings. Like, it just pretty much you hold up an R and you're gonna go over everything. But there are times where you're swinging and he catches something you didn't mean to, and he starts running up. I just want to run along the building here and then jump off again. And all of a sudden I'm climbing up, and then I'm leached up onto the top, and I'm like, posing on the ledge. I'm like, I wanted to run along, like, it's just. But once you get the hang of it, the swinging is actually. I really enjoyed the swinging, to be honest.
I'm sure it will get better. But I'm not just complaining about Spider-Man. I just mean open world games in general have that weirdness.
So first off, for those that don't know, because Terrell didn't know, and I even know I was saying in the chat, I'm guessing until the end of the year, I don't know, I didn't see official. Amazon and Walmart both have the Series X for $350. I don't know if that's, like I said, I don't know the timetable. Best Buy doesn't. I'm guessing other stores don't.
That's the deal, yo.
And then Best Buy had it for $449, and it's back up to $500. So I don't know. Maybe the Walmart deal was just this weekend. Let me double check before.
Horizon Zero get on ledges. What? What retro?
Yeah, Horizon, that one was tough because you couldn't even jump up something that was like knee high. So there was or not knee high, but let's say like neck or shoulder high. There was no climbing. If you couldn't clear it with your normal jump, you couldn't get up.
Yeah. The joy of modern gaming. Things got more realistic, and reality still fucked you.
Well, just go watch some footage of Geralt jumping. Is the most despicable act I've ever seen. Yep, it's just so janky.
Series X Diablo 4 bundle, $349 at Walmart.
Wow.
And it's
with the Diablo 4 in that
free shipping. Too? They have the non-bundle and the Diablo 4 bundle.
Damn. That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
I'm gonna pick that up just to flip it.
That's what I was like.
Mr. Hustler.
I was thinking of buying it.
Well, you're not gonna flip it double.
I was thinking buying it, hold on to it till like 2 days before Christmas, but it's weird because I clicked on it and then it jumped up to $462. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, it's trickery.
Walmart's website is bullshit because it's
that's all you need to say.
Royal Tech Plus. So yeah, maybe that it was going on. Maybe it officially ended, but you have to. I forget you have to select the store because it's just a bunch of. It's almost like eBay. Like Walmart's website has become eBay. There's just a shit ton of
there's a bunch of like sellers on there. You don't realize it until you actually pay attention. Like, oh, wait a minute, that's not Walmart.
I don't even see the option to.
So they got on the eBay gang, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once I click in store, then they're not available. So
right.
I should have went to Walmart by me just to see if they had one. But yeah, that was let's see if Amazon still has it. Because if that was just this weekend, then obviously missed out. Yeah, Amazon doesn't show them. But Phil Spencer T, I think we were talking before the podcast. I saw something about Banjo-Kazooie and Phil Spencer. I didn't have a chance to read
Yeah, I
it.
watched that whole podcast, or it wasn't a podcast, it was an interview.
Was he? Oh, it was an actual video interview.
No, it was
or like a
I think it was
podcast
written
thing.
Or yeah, I read like a written interview thing.
Oh, okay. What did he have to say? Because I was curious when I saw that.
Well, he was basically just he was talking about because he had to come out and clarify. So Microsoft needs to get their fucking people together and say, hey, this is how we talk about things, because they basically the entire reason for that interview was to clean up the mess that the CFO made. He was talking about how he wants, or their goal is to be able to basically be able to have Game Pass on PS5 and so
that's
Phil Spencer had to come out and be like, because a lot of especially the Xbox guys who have consoles are like, well, this is some bullshit. Fix this shit. So he clarified that, but he was talking about obviously with their acquisitions, he was talking about legacy games and stuff. He's like, he said, I hear you, Banjo guys. Basically he just said, I hear you. I know that's what you want. Our goal is not to just basically make a game for profit reasons. He said he wants to find a team that's passionate about making that game. So I totally understand that. Like, they have a lot of teams, but he doesn't want to force them. Basically, say, hey, make this game because there's some profit we can make here. He wants to see if there's anybody that actually wants to do it and have a good idea for it. And I understand it. It's like, especially for Banjo-Kazooie, fucking Rare didn't know what to do with Banjo-Kazooie when it came to the third one, right?
Yeah,
they just
almost. I get that, because I feel that way about movies, like The Force Awakens, the whole trilogy. Just they wanted to get these movies out before they had an idea, so they came out. Yeah. But at the same time, you might, if you could just find a team that says, yeah, that could be something we could do, then just say, hey, we want to make this. Start thinking about it. Don't just like, well, we're gonna try to find somebody who already has an idea. Like, you might want to, you might have to like approach a studio.
I mean, you are the boss. It'd be like,
see if they can come up with an idea.
If there's people that want it, and you're like, oh well, we got Game Pass, so there's not any risk. So you can be like, yo, I want this too. Is there anybody interested? Toys for Bob, are you guys interested? Blah blah blah, are you guys interested? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, pitch me some ideas. Hey, just put out a thing. Say in a couple.
But to sit back and wait, and I don't think that's what he's doing. He's not sitting back and saying. I'm sure he's like talking to people. Because he wants Hexen. He personally wants Hexen to come back. That's his game. You've seen him wear the T-shirt and whatnot, and that's going to happen. That's a game that's going to happen because he personally wants that. He has a personal interest in it. So I think I don't know if he has any personal interest in Banjo-Kazooie, but I actually made a video on this because this comes up a lot. I guess certain Xbots get annoyed that people want Banjo-Kazooie. It's like, who wants Banjo-Kazooie? And it's like, yeah, a lot of people want Banjo-Kazooie. I can understand Conquer, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Why do you understand Conquer?
You know why? You know why? You know what fan base wants Conquer? Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on. That's so... Banjo-Kazooie has 2 games, in the main franchise, and they're way more, like, millions of copies sold. There's way more behind people wanting a Banjo-Kazooie than Conquer. Conquer, gameplay-wise, is nothing to write home about.
No,
like, the gist of Conquer was the smutty humor.
It was like a gimmick.
It was a gimmick, and it was of that time. They wanted to make a traditional platformer, but they were so out of ideas. They were just like, oh, I don't know, let's make them say shit and make fart jokes. Like, well,
what about having Playtonic, just hiring them to make a Banjo game?
That's what I was thinking. But
you mean just buy them, right? You mean buy them? You don't mean. Hey,
was there some of the Playtonic guys there for Banjo nuts and bolts? I think some of those guys.
They made ukulele. More, not saying
yeah, but
that's as good.
Ukulele is cool, but I don't want another samey Banjo-Kazooie game. I don't.
Yeah, Something like
Well,
a
the problem
Mario
is,
Odyssey where they go out of they do something
Right.
completely different, kind of.
Right.
I'm gonna just say this. This just sounds like what Nintendo's issue is with like some of their IPs that are kind of just stuck in limbo. It's that whole we don't have anyone who really is interested in doing it, and so the IP's in limbo. The problem is that a lot of Xbox's acquisitions, there are people who probably could make it, but because if you don't got an interest in it, there's no point. Like it's the same thing with why DK has such a weird fucking history. We don't have a locked in developer for him, so you have to catch a developer in the right mood. So that's Banjo. A lot of their acquisitions, there's a couple people who could do it. It's just
Yeah, they got teams that could do it. They definitely have teams.
You know what the
can do it.
biggest problem is though is
Yeah.
it's would the fan base be receptive to it? Because Xbox's fan base is not unfortunately known.
No, they wouldn't. And you know how you fix that? You put the shit on Game Pass for one. Obviously, that's what they're gonna do anyway. And you also sell that bitch on Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's gonna be. That's what you do, and that's where you can. Nintendo fans will buy that shit. Because that's where all the Banjo fans are mostly.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what you do. And it's not like they haven't sold games on other consoles. So
what's this like 4K hardcore Banjo game come out and everyone's like, oh, look at this tinky winky shit. Just because you put a bear and high-end graphics don't make him any less cartoony.
Imagine though a good team, like the possibilities with a Banjo game. As long as they don't try to, I mean, I don't know what style. Would you want it to look like a CG animated movie? Like really high-end, like CG animated movie?
no, I definitely wouldn't want that at all. I want them to. It's a cartoon. It's a Saturday morning cartoon. It needs to stay cartoony. It shouldn't be any more crazy again, like than something like Mario Odyssey. It needs to have that kind of visual style.
Just still is designed from Smash because you now have a model of his.
Yeah, you already got him,
and just use that as the base of your art.
That's your basis, exactly.
Because people love that. People cried when they saw that. Okay,
I cried.
all you have to do is like, here's the ball, and you've already got it in your hands. Just throw the bitch, like just throw it.
Yeah.
I mean, my problem hearing Phil talk about Banjo or just Xbox talk about those IPs in general is that it's always the same. It's like me hearing Nintendo talk about F-Zero. It's like, yeah, there's always a possibility you'll do it, but I'm not trying to sit here in limbo with bated breath like, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Please.
No, I'm definitely not holding my breath.
So like,
my thing is like, at least there's some hope now. Like they're talking about before they even talk about this shit. So at least they're talking about it. He outright says, "I hear you, Banjo fans. I hear you." So that to me is like some kind of commitment. It's not like a full on. Yeah, we're definitely making this game now, but it's way better than what we've had before. I just think the characters of Banjo Kazooie are too good to just be left to history.
It's better than we're not sure we're gonna do a new F-Zero when we have something new to do with it. Like
I mean, it's to me, it's still in the same vein, in my opinion. It's still the whole. It's possible, but we gotta see what time will tell. Like to me, it's no different.
Why hasn't Nintendo said, "Hey guys, we hear you. We know you want this thing. We're gonna see if there's anybody out there to make it." No, Nintendo hasn't said shit on any of these things. This is all fan, and the energy behind all this stuff is from the fans. They don't do anything to like make us tantalize us or anything. So
that's probably better in my opinion.
It might be, but
I'd rather you not lie to me with false hope. That's my issue.
I think when you come out and say names, I think you have there's something behind that. And Phil is known to like put things in the background and wear T-shirts and stuff comes out of that. Like that's.
I'm not saying my.
Just go ahead.
So you're right. My concern, because just how I put Nintendo, I've said this before. It's the same box I put Nintendo when it comes to them talking about third party. Those things are possible, but I need you to give me a solid track record for me to get excited about it. And Xbox is on an up curve. I'm not gonna bullshit you with the whole Starfield. This year mostly been okay with them, minus Redfall because we don't talk about Redfall. But this year has mostly been a decent uptick with a little dip with Redfall. But I need some a little bit more
Redfall might come
consistent.
back, man. It might turn it
No, we're
around.
not gonna bring this up.
Hey.
I just listen.
Games have come back. Look at
My point. The point I'm making is I can't get excited about something he says, and so I'm a little bit more confident in his ability to give me consistent quality. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are like excited. I'm just happy to hear something. I don't think. Are you even a Banjo fan, Juice? I don't even think you care about Banjo like that. So.
I mean, I personally didn't love the collectathon aspect. I didn't play it a ton though, so I don't really. I don't want to judge it because I rented it. I probably played it for 3-4 hours.
I don't even think the collectathon stuff got bad until DK64. That's when it was just like, come on, man, y'all tripping now with all this shit. You want me to collect 5 different types of bananas, 5 different types of for every character they wanted you to collect the same. That was insane.
For me, I don't, like I said, I only rented it. I don't remember a ton, but what's in my memory is the the gibberish talking, which is whatever, but I just felt like, I don't know. To me, I was just so into Mario 64, I wasn't mentally ready to accept something different, and so I never gave it a full chance. So
it's like a Nintendo to me.
You had your hands like this.
I played it.
That look,
heard all the good praise for it, and I played it, and I didn't enjoy it. But if I had bought it and was stuck with it, quote unquote stuck with it, I probably would have played it. I would at least played it a lot more, because there was only a few N64 games that I bought that I ended up not really playing, which was Shadow Man, which I gave to you, and then I bought Wipeout 64. I don't even know if I played it more than one time, so N64 was just weird for me. The end of the N64 for me came quicker than I wanted, and because I got the Dreamcast 2 years or 3 years.
When did you get it? Oh, because Dreamcast came in and
Soul Calibur and NFL, man. I just
look at the 60 frames.
I instantly moved away, but I still would be like, I'd want them to do Banjo right and have a really cool game. I'm not against it. I don't hate the franchise or anything. Just never really gave it a chance. So, and I the Game Pass thing. So during Sandstorm's podcast, I was in the live chat, and I don't know why they're talking, it could come to Switch, and Nintendo fans would change their tune about Game Pass, and people would say they love it all of a sudden. But I'm like, let's be real here. What could Microsoft do for a Game Pass? Because the only games that, unless it's cloud only, only the games that have been ported to Switch would be available. Like, they'd have to port every single Microsoft exclusive, first party game to the Switch. And what else would they have? Because if the third party don't have a Switch port, you're not getting Game Pass on the Switch. Like, how many games would it be? 20, 30? It just makes no sense.
Wait, what do you?
Game Pass. I said it would be cloud streaming only. They're not going to port 100 games.
Oh yeah. That's what. Of course, it's not going to be native.
But this guy was in the chat was trying to say Microsoft's has all this money and they've been getting ready for this. I'm like, they're not spending millions porting games in hopes that it comes to Switch. And it's like, it would be cloud only. And then there goes half the reason you want to have it on the Switch, because just like with the Portal, you got to be somewhere with you have to have good internet. Yeah, if you're on the go, if you're on the bus or train, you got to hotspot it off your phone or something. It's half the reason it would be appealing is gone if it's cloud streaming.
I will say though, because I've done it a lot myself, hotspotting Game Passes work.
Yeah, I mean, it works, pretty good, but it's not.
But it's not native. Most gamers
ideal.
don't want Most gamers don't want it.
Yeah, maybe the Switch too, but again, the games would have to be ported first. They have to
I think they're more interested in porting games.
And they're not going to bring
the Switch to anything.
Microsoft Game Pass. They're not going to. I don't know if they're going to be able to put the third-party games on there. Just I think it's going to be the
No,
Microsoft.
you're not going to be able to
games.
get because this whole licensing issue.
So
You're not
what would they
going
be able
to
to offer? It'd be interesting
Well,
to see what they
got a ton of shit. I mean, obviously they still have some
Yeah,
more
but they
stuff.
have a decent amount to offer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. After if they're, but I'm saying
If we're talking about games that aren't on Switch
I'm
that they
talking
have,
about
yeah.
if they're gonna do it where you download the game and you play the actual game and don't stream it, like that would require a lot of investment.
That's a lot of technical shit you got to deal with. Yeah.
And for some reason, this guy, I don't remember the guy's name in Sandstorms. He's like, oh, they're already working on it. I'm like, no, they're not going to spend $100 million porting hundreds of games to be run native on Switch. Maybe
what
over
Switch?
time.
Ain't doing that on the current Switch. You can get the hell out of here with that. That is not happening.
And they'd probably want to wait to see what the next Switch is and if it's going to be be a big seller, because Nintendo's history, you never know.
Right. You don't know if it's going to be a big seller.
Be a 10 million seller. You don't know. So it'd have to be and then the PlayStation one. I mean, yeah, again, they'd have to port the games to PlayStation unless it's
it's a different architecture. It's going to take some work.
It's not just a flip the switch and then all these third-party deals. They're not going to pay to have a game playable on PlayStation's Game Pass, I don't think, but maybe. Don't know how all that legally would work. So yeah, I just think it's like, I mean, if it was good cloud streaming, but the Switch is the company that's doing it now. It doesn't look very good. It doesn't look that much better than native ports of these games, but. Yeah. I forget who did the video. I think it was Digital Foundry. It's just some company out of the blue who had really nothing to do with cloud streaming or anything. They just bought some servers and offered and advertised themselves, went to these companies, and that's how these games started coming to the cloud on Switch. And they're not like the super high-tech company with these great servers. So that's why they don't look that good. I'd be curious to see what Microsoft's network would look like running on a Switch. Be curious, has any of the hack Switches, are they able to run Game Pass? That'd be cloud streaming. I don't know. When or does that have to have Windows? That probably have to run through Windows.
You have to have
well, you can do
Google
it through a phone,
or you have to have a browser.
Yeah,
that's what you have to have. So
there's a lot of indie games on Game Pass that are already on Switch. Yeah, but does Microsoft have to pay those companies or pay to have those games also on Switch? I mean, yeah, you're right. They're already on Switch, but I mean, is that going to be the appeal of Game Pass on Nintendo?
Game Pass is not even on Steam, so.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I want to talk about, Donnie. The Arkham Knight Switch port.
We knew that was going to be bad anyway.
Yeah, but oof.
I was saying Hogwarts was like one of the most compromised, but at least that runs a bit better and less stuttery and less pausing. Arkham Knight, that should never even been. They shouldn't even freaking.
I respect.
They should have put Arkham Origins on there instead.
And even the first two games. If you look at the 360 comparison, it's identical. They just took the 360 game, put it on Switch. I don't even know what the resolution it is. It's still 30. Like it's such a basic port, the first two games, and then the third game, it's like, why even bother? It's barely playable. People are saying like you can't even drive because you're missing so many frames in the frame time. You're just crashing all over, and then when you crash, it makes it worse because then it's got to do collision and effects, so then it gets even choppier. And it's like they sold that for I don't know $60, I believe, and 1/3 of it.
They ought to be ashamed. They ought to be ashamed.
I mean, it's like 27 gigs just for Arkham Knight that you have to download.
Yeah, because I think only Arkham Asylum is on the card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then you have to download the other two.
I'd be curious to see if City runs at a lock 30.
City runs the best of the three.
Because Wii U version, I mean, I didn't even look up anything. I just bought it based on everybody said it's gamepad usage, and I stopped playing it because the open world was so choppy. And I wasn't even thinking that when I bought the game.
I've already looked at it. City runs the best of the three. Arkham Asylum has some weird hitching that happens occasionally, it's not like nowhere near as bad as like Arkham Knight is. It's almost, it doesn't really make sense because that game should be the easiest of the three to port. But Arkham City runs the best, and I'll tell you that right now, just from the comparisons, it runs better than the Wii U version of Arkham City.
It'd be
It's mainly the frame. It's mainly the frame pacing. It's like what the fuck?
Frame pacing.
It's like you can like I saw comparisons with the Wii version. I forgot the Wii version hitches like a lot.
I noticed it immediately.
I don't remember it at all.
Well, I never bought
it. I thought the open world was so freaking choppy.
I played it on PS3 originally, so I never bought. I had no real reason to buy the Wii U version.
And I'm sure I'm not the most technical knowledge about this, but yeah, it's Unreal Engine 3 and the PS3 and 360 CPUs. Yeah, they're lower. They're way down compared to the Switch from a generational standpoint, but clock speeds, I want to say the 360 clock speeds on the CPU were like 4 gigs or gigahertz or something. And doesn't matter how much newer the processor is. If you're running a CPU at a 1 gigahertz, and you take these games, these older engine games that were running high clock CPUs, basically a lot of CPU usage, and it's just not an easy conversion from what I've heard. All the Digital Foundry and all the videos I've watched and that kind of stuff. It's not as simple. It's not as simple. It'd be better if it was Unreal Engine 4, to be honest, because it's more.
Arkham Knight was going to be a problem no matter what.
Oh, we knew that was going to be a problem.
Yeah, everybody knew that shit.
It's a problem on the hardware it came out on. Like it struggles. It hitches on the PS4.
That bit came out kind of broken.
It was
that
was the most playable version though. The PC was unplayable. That was
PC was unplayable.
Yeah. I just recently beat that game, so I was just kind of like, damn. Even on the Series X, I'm like, this is not as smooth as I want it to be. But it's just the nature of that fucking game. That game was not optimized, and I think they just
couldn't even brute force it running smooth on Series X.
It runs mostly smooth, but you can still catch it. It'll still hit you on you, especially it's the driving. Yeah. It's the fucking driving. It's mainly the goddamn driving.
They said it on the Wii U. They said the Batmobile is going to be a problem for Wii U. Maybe they weren't lying.
No, the Batmobile is a problem in general.
Yeah, it's a problem in general, right? So especially trying to put that shit on Wii U. I mean, look how it runs on Switch. Imagine what that shit was going to be doing on Wii U, bro.
Yeah, there was no fucking way. There was no way because that game wasn't even optimized for PS4. So I'm like, but I will say, City might be the only one I might get because I've been itching to replay City. Asylum, I need a patch to come out for Asylum because I don't like what I saw. Not like this would be my third time.
One thing reminded me was how much I hated the Armored Edition suits. Like Catwoman's especially. They completely hid Catwoman's like the best visual thing going on with Catwoman in her suit. And just put on
somehow
this
I'm
ridiculous.
Not surprised.
That luckily the Switch version got rid of that.
Well, no, the Switch version is just the OG version. The armor outfits are only in the Wii U version. They didn't carry those over, and it has all the DLC from the original games. That's why I said Arkham City I might get because Arkham City runs pretty good. It runs equivalent to what it used to run at. So
I mean, even in like some of the bat signal. Did you see that? I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. I haven't tried since remember it crashed last time I tried. So if
that was a while ago,
stream crashes, you know why? Let's try it.
I think I'm more surprised that it crashed the stream.
Oh,
then
make it full screen. That bat signal, the jaggies on it. That looks like a really low quality JPEG off the.
I'm not gonna lie. The way you said it made it. I thought it was gonna look way worse than that.
Really?
I'm not really.
Well,
yeah, I thought you would be.
You're seeing it.
It looks fine.
It does not.
No, I see
fine.
the jaggies. No, I see the jaggies.
That doesn't look fine.
But it's Switch. I expect the jaggies. Who the fuck is that?
Looks like a 180p JPEG they pulled off the internet and pasted in.
Oh my god! Let me go get the damn comparison.
That does not look fine.
It took just 24 hours for us to lose control.
I don't know what people thought it was gonna look like. Like, I'm just be real about it.
You don't expect. Like
there was no way they were gonna make the
JPEG for the bats. I mean, you can make. That's like they can tweak each scene individually if they were working on it properly. But there's just like the interior textures. they're just like, it's just straight missing a lot of like the layers of textures. It's just like blurry green and stuff. Like this wall has all this graffiti and stuff on Switch. It's
Look
just
at
like,
that, man.
look
He
at
can't
him.
even tell you in the rain, bro.
No lighting
He
applied.
has no wetness
No
to
wetness.
his cape. Nothing. Really.
None of the like all the detail from the cape's gone.
Yeah, as much as this Argonaut was
Look at how just washed out it looks too.
It's super
why
washed out.
idiot. Like I said, I knew
mean,
some
you
of
blow
these
that
was
up on a.
The
on
rain
like,
is more pronounced on the Switch, though.
If you
Maybe
blow
they didn't
that
turn
up,
the rain down.
It mainly goes to anti-aliasing.
Imagine blowing that up on a 75-inch TV or something. That would.
Oh.
I mean, it's.
Is it just about playing the games portable? Is that what it's about?
Running. I mean, the Switch is running it. This is.
Yeah, I don't want to. Well, they're also doing what I consider the easier part. I think Batman on the ground. Oh wow, Batman on the ground is probably the easiest to do on here. Now, when he gets in that car, bitch, you might as well be falling through the floor.
God dang.
Yeah, there's that signal.
God dang. Is it a JPEG?
That's what I said. It looks like a 180p JPEG. Terrell said it looked fine. Let's get back to
From what I'm expecting.
Well,
from
yeah,
Switch,
it looks fine.
I mean, of all the things to look bad, that's not something I would.
You want to play
Really?
it portably? Play on this bad boy right here. Looks good, runs good, boy.
What do you
That's
hold
why I
up?
say fucking.
I'm just glad
Huh?
you made it out.
Which one are
Nah.
you holding up?
Oh, or either one. I mean,
Yeah.
the Steam Deck or the
I
or the
watched
Lenovo.
first.
It don't matter. You can get it either way.
Strangely, I've watched a lot of
The evacuation going.
reviews and comparisons of the Lenovo and the Ally versus the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck.
So you're gonna
beats
buy one? Then.
all of them almost 95% of the time.
He's
Yeah.
like, I converted
Steam Deck
another one.
Just beats
He's
them.
coming. He's
Alright,
coming
but the
over.
Steam Deck can't run.
Yeah, this is
native
gonna be the worst
gamepads.
part of the game. I hate this fucking
Ooh.
car, by the way.
Oof.
This car is like one of the worst things.
How do you even see where to go?
Oh, they still do the slow mo.
Okay.
Interrogate the driver and find out what he knows.
Yeah, the
I'd be
driving is gonna
shocked,
be the
like,
worst part.
I'd be shocked if there's any. I'm shocked that the Series X has issues. It just seems like there's just so much.
Nah,
power.
when I say issues, it's more like it's not a
If
lot.
you're noticing stuttering though, that Batmobile is
It's-
ugly. as
And
fuck.
you know what? I bet that looks pretty good on your Switch OLED screen. You know, when it's not
Oh yeah, all
blowing up
things
onto
are
your TV. I bet it looks pretty good. On a small
If it
screen.
could run, if it was running at a decent,
Right. That's the
frame
thing.
rate.
It's not. It's running like
There
ass.
was no way. There was no way it was gonna run these bitches.
I think
This is
visually, yeah, in handheld it probably looks.
You
alright.
as much as this game was a technical pain in the ass. The one thing you will always say about it, this game was gorgeous when it came out. Like absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it still holds up now.
They compare it. Yeah, they
But she
compare it
looks
to like
fine.
Gotham Knights, and they prefer Gotham Knights.
He looks better.
Or they prefer this over Gotham
What
Knights.
is with his
So-
suit in the Switch version? It's
No,
hideous.
I think that's the
it's
Switch
like the
exclusive
Flash
suit.
suit.
No, it's the Switch
It's like the
exclusive.
That's the
Flash
Switch
Batman
exclusive suit.
suit.
That's
That's
the
that's
the
the-
Robert Pattinson. The
Yeah,
Batman
it is
suit.
the Robert Pattinson suit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
only in the
better.
Switch version. I
That's
kind of
for-
wish they.
Look at the complete lack of lighting.
They shouldn't have used that suit. They should have used a different
It
suit.
just doesn't look.
Yeah, I wish they used the
neck part
actual
doesn't
suit
look
in the
right.
game.
The regular suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because until obviously the other versions get that
WB's
suit.
probably gonna freaking demonetize fuckers
Why?
showing this footage.
Because WB is broke. That's what it.
Oh no, that's true. That is true. You're
Everybody
right.
might demonetize.
Nah,
this
yeah,
shit.
you're right. You're right. He is broke.
Or ask for some ad share. They ain't gonna demonetize it. They want some of the money, even if it's pennies, which it is.
Look
They
at how
want
she's
that.
just like glowing her whole body, whereas in the other version there's.
Well,
just
I mean,
proper
yeah, we
shadows.
know this. We know it ain't
Yeah,
gonna
like,
be.
but yeah,
But
like
other than
you
that,
knew
she
you.
doesn't look that bad.
By the way, I hate her fucking design in this series.
I don't like. Yeah,
It's literally the laziest they've done with her outfit. It's like, hey, just put you in some panties and a.
I think she looked great in Arkham Knight or Arkham City, but I
What
don't
did
like
she
this
look like in
version
Arkham
of her.
City again? I forget.
A lot better. I do
You're
not
right.
like this version of her.
I hate her design
I
here.
didn't care for the Harley Quinn in the Arkham Asylum. If I remember If that's the one.
This Harley Quinn can't pick a fucking outfit and stick with it. Like
I don't know. I don't mind.
They modernized her. She's
Ivy.
What are you
her.
doing here?
Yeah, of course you don't. You weak man.
God, Batman's eye. I stopped sharing, but goddamn his eyes.
I mean, I played the game. We T's over here with his high ass gamer score. He fucking already beat the A and shit.
Yeah, I destroyed that game. I got tired of something though.
It's probably the Riddler shit.
I gave up. I think I gave up on the Riddler shit. I was like,
man, of course. Fuck that
These
car.
fucking tank puzzles and shit. I'm fuck this.
Bro, fuck that stupid car. I hate that stupid ass car.
Puzzles with a fucking tank. Get that shit out of here.
And then they still wanted you to fucking drive through those stupid ass bro.
You gotta be precise and all and timing, and I'm like, fuck this.
It makes me mad because the other stuff's good, but fuck that car. I hate that car, bro.
So I asked this question to Sandstorm, but he took a different direction than I was expecting or thinking.
Okay.
Looking at what you've seen of Arkham Knight, is that crossed the line of shouldn't have been, wasn't worth the effort, like the final product isn't good enough to justify releasing that game? And I say easily.
I say, yeah, I mean,
that's
you take
different.
Arkham Knight off of there and you put Arkham Origins.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Knight because you can buy that separately.
Oh, just Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about just Knight? Probably.
I don't know what you're thinking.
Probably.
About, like,
probably. It's the fucking
would
car.
the line be then? Because
I also think the game is. I think it to me is my least favorite of the Arkham series.
It's completely unacceptable. That's you're paying money for a product, and it's. I mean, yeah, maybe that's the best they could do within the budget and time frame, but that's not worth selling as a finished product. To me, that's just it's gone too far.
Brand Smith said, "What's worse, poor WWE or WWE 2K18?
Probably that.
Or, that's probably worse.
Yeah,
that shit barely ran. Like that shit was running at like 8 frames a second. 8 frames a second.
I think Arkham Knight.
8 frames. I almost said hour.
Arkham Knight gets in the low teens in the Batmobile sequence, but it's like stuttering, almost stopping at times. There's times where it freezes. But...
I was watching it. I'm like, how can you sell this product? Like, you should not be selling this in this state. Like,
that's where I'm coming from. Yeah, like the idea, if you could get it running smooth, I honestly think Hogwarts Legacy is close to the last. It's ahead. I think it's still they did a good enough job. But to me, you're paying $60 for a product, and it's significantly inferior and compromised compared to the PS4 and Series or Xbox One S version for $60. Like, I think that's a kind of borderline as well. But from a publisher standpoint, yeah, they want to get it on the Switch and make some money. From that standpoint, yeah, to them it's worth it. But as a consumer,
it's worth it to Warner Brothers. They need money. So.
Let's say somebody buys that game and they've never played that series, and it's just going to leave a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not going to be interested in the next game. Let's say Suicide Squad, that game comes out next year on the Switch too. Like, if somebody will be like, man, I don't really like that Batman series. It wasn't very good. It's just.
They're not going to like Suicide Squad anyways. So.
Yeah. They keep delaying it because I think I don't know how they thought that was a good idea.
Because money. That's why I thought it was a good idea. Because money. They can't keep making these fucking Arkham Knight games, and just put the game out and that's it. They don't get any more money out of that. They're chasing what everybody else chasing, the fucking unicorn of games as a service.
But it's been so long since Anthem and Avengers came out. Maybe the Avengers was like too late, too far into development for them to be like, oh wait, people don't want to.
Well, because they're like, well, we have an IP that everyone loves. And so we're going to do better. No, we're going to do exactly. But the game was already in development by the time we saw what was going on with Avengers.
Which one did they put out already that sucked?
Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights.
And they
garbage.
And there's been rumors that they're porting that.
That's one of those.
They try to give it away on Game Pass. Still nobody played that shit.
To me,
I hate the fact that it's even in the Arkham mythos in the first place.
There's shit that just didn't work on the lead platforms. It was a broken game, and it's like maybe
it was a bad game.
Even if it wasn't broken, I don't think it would have been good.
I think it it's an okay superhero game if this was 2010. You know what I mean? Like,
So it's
then
incredibly dated.
right. Like, that's the problem with it. It's dated as hell. Like, it's a fine superhero game. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just like, look what we had since. And coming from you guys, like, you should be
the technical issues, the glitches.
Yeah, it has technical issues.
On
It
top of
didn't. They didn't. I think for consoles anyway, it's only 30 frames.
Yeah,
and it's just like fuck off. And they made up some bullshit why it was only 30 frames. And I'm like,
we're using ray
get
tracing.
out of
and
here.
Then you see, just look at Horizon Forbidden West running at 60. It's not using ray tracing, but look how good the games look.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I think I never tried it, but I believe they added a 60 FPS to Plague Tale this year.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And I never tried it because
me either.
I don't think it makes a difference for that game. To be honest, that game didn't run that well.
You hating on that game hard.
Dang. I guess it was one of those, like, I played the first game. It just was on PlayStation Plus, which I already had. I tried it. I had no expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised. So when I was like saw the sequel, I don't know. The trailer made me think they were going to expand more than they did. And then buying the game, I felt less, like it was less.
Right. And so my shit was opposite. I bought the first game just on a whim. I liked that. I thought it was cool. And I got the second game on Game Pass. So I like that bitch even more.
I probably would have liked it more if I didn't pay 60, 70, whatever I paid for it. 50 maybe. I forget what it was. Let's see. Somebody said something a while back I was going to go to. It's probably... We kind of went off on our own.
Hey!
Look at this guy.
Yo. What up?
What's up?
Yeah, we were just talking about the Arkham Knight stuff, and
I saw. How y'all feel about that?
T and I agreed that's not a product.
It wasn't worth putting out. You shouldn't put that out.
At
least Arkham Knight.
They should have pulled that. Just sold put the first two at whatever, drop the price, and just have those.
I would have put Origins on there.
I would put Origins. Why is Origins so
because Origins considered it's like considered the black sheep, but I think it generally is a better, and also Origins also was known for being buggy.
It was made by the Gotham Knights team actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Damn, because Origins is the better game.
It is. It clearly is. But
god damn, that's a shame.
It kind of reminded me, without having played it, just from watching reviews and stuff. It's like BioShock 2, where BioShock 2 is like terrible and stuff, but they just said, all right, we're not the team who made BioShock, but we're going to make a sequel, so we're just going to try to emulate what they did. And that's kind of the vibe I got from the Origins.
And it didn't work well.
They just tried to copy.
It was okay until I realized,
had a good time with Origins.
Oh look, we're doing the Joker again, and I went, fuck.
Yeah. It's almost like Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man. Oh, we're gonna do. I guess they reduced the amount of backpacks, or they made a joke about it, but they have a similar. Hey, you got to go find these things scattered throughout the city. A lot of open world games have that, but
other little things too, like
Tears of the Kingdom did it with
Joker.
The Koroks, like, oh, you got to find Koroks now again. Like, sometimes just because it was
didn't work. That didn't work for me at all. It made me shut down.
But the thing is, a lot of them are very easy to find. I just stopped doing the ones where you had to transport the dude, and I just did the regular ones, lift up a rock, and I got enough.
I would do those.
I got plenty to upgrade. I never felt like I needed more slots. And
like, I'm not carrying this fucking guy over here.
No, that's to me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hate that one.
It's not just me. Okay, good.
Because
it's me that hated that shit.
I'm sure RetroDeath probably has like 1,000 of those, the ore, whatever you need to like create things out of thin air without the materials. Mm-hmm. And then you have to have the schematics or have a saved one, and then you can just create them out of, use up I forget what it's called, the ore or whatever. And I never had enough of that to just always be creating stuff on my own, like out of the blue. So I'm like trying to make stuff. I spent 30 minutes trying to make a wagon, and it doesn't even give you like the tools to make the wagons that are already like the built wagons. You can't make
Yeah.
These fucking tapes.
you can't make wheels that move, so it would just freaking drag around. I spent 30 minutes trying to make this wagon, and the freaking thing didn't. Horse could barely pull it. You know, it was just. So then I just started lifting them up and walking with using the ultra hand to hold them up, and I just walk. I was just walking to the other Korok, and it was
Super tedious.
yeah, but quicker than trying to build something. So
These retro takes, bro.
Yeah, I think I did that maybe once or twice.
Guy.
And I was like, after the second time, I'm like, nah, there's no way. There's no way.
So-
I think one of them was like him over like on the other side of a lake or something like that.
there's
Yeah.
a couple that I
And,
was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting to try to figure out how to get this, and but other than that, it was just like simple shit.
mhm.
That Godzilla build, I've stopped paying attention. I thought the building was gonna in Tears of the Kingdom was gonna be like everlasting, seeing stuff,
Really?
but they're just somebody built a Godzilla. That's great. I gave up really early in the game. Once I figured out you couldn't fully connect you could only connect one connection for each item, so you couldn't make a square and then reconnect the last piece and have it be solid. And I was like, that seems kind of weak. So then everything I tried to build, I always wanted to get one more connection back, and you couldn't do a dual connection on one piece. So I was like, I stopped messing with it. Honestly,
You see that fish trap that somebody made?
that one was cool.
That was pretty cool. It was
But again-
overkill as fuck. You don't need that shit at all. But
I was
was cool
so
to see.
engrossed in the story and the tears, and then finding all the shrines. I didn't want to waste any. For me, I would consider it wasting time trying to build contraptions. That's not what Zelda is for me, and I didn't want to make a Zelda game about this like customizing, building creative.
how do you think I
stuff.
felt about
I definitely
Banjo
feel that.
Kazooie Nuts and
Yeah.
Bolts, motherfucker?
Oh yeah.
I did not want
How
a
do you think I
Legend of,
felt?
I didn't want a Legend of Zelda game to feel like a create wacky vehicle game. I watched
Yeah.
early on the first couple weeks. I watched some videos on Twitter, then I just stopped looking at that stuff because it's not Zelda to me. And
Yeah.
people that
Like
like
built
that,
like a
that's
fucking
fine.
spaceship. Off the,
It's just
Yeah, X-wing and all that.
it's just insane. It's cool to see. I still like watching it, but
I like
I would never
the hover bike in the underground area because that just made it so much easier to get around. Other than that, horse on the ground and or I was up in the sky would just there's plenty of stuff available. So anyway, Tears of the Kingdom. Clocked brought this up, and I've been thinking about this.
Blackgate. I'm sorry,
Um,
I just read Donnie Arch's.
Oh yeah, Blackgate would have been bad. Would have been bad idea either.
Wasn't that a bad game?
No, Blackgate was
Was it?
awesome.
Oh.
Especially
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Especially for a 3DS game, so it was pretty cool.
I think the only
'Cause
problem
it
is
felt like you were playing console Batman.
I thought there was a
That's
bad
somehow-
2D one.
that's
though,
the
that people didn't like.
unless they don't like the 3DS version of it because it was also on the Vita.
It was on the Vita too, yeah.
I'd be curious what the Metacritic. I swear there was like one that was like roasted by people, but who knows? Either way,
I could've been over
Tears of
there.
the Kingdom. So this has come up in the chat. I've been thinking about it because I'm 26 hours into Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm just like, I'm still like I got the hippogriff.
Mr. Ravenclaw over
You're
here.
loving it, huh? Are you a Ravenclaw too?
No, I'm Hufflepuff.
I'm talking about you with your little.
Oh yeah, it's the clock, baby.
I got
That's the only way
my
to live.
I got my flying mount. Did the story the sequence in the story. Then I was just flying around, and I'm just pure bliss with this game, and I'm like, man, could this overtake Tears of the Kingdom because it's it's been since when did I finish? July.
Oh,
But then I have to remind myself of that getting the Master Sword moment and then the end sequence, and I'm like, yeah, I can't just because it was months ago. And I'm like,
recency bias. Don't
I'm
know if that's
loving
creeping.
this game.
Yeah.
I can't forget like the epicness of the cinematics, the story.
Was it? Oh, sorry.
So
And,
okay, so let me ask you a
Damn.
question.
have
How
you,
have you
have
been-
you got all the tears? Have you seen all the memories?
Me?
Yeah.
No, that's my that's what I'm doing now. That's my
To me,
that's my focus.
I
It's
love
going
I
at
don't think
the
I've
tears.
seen any of the tiers. What?
Huh?
I didn't.
I
I
think
Oh.
I've seen 3 or poor.
You haven't
out there.
gone to the glyphs and seen the memories?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No,
What
I've
are you
never.
doing?
That's like one of the main stories.
I just
was,
been doing the temples.
I think the
The
main
side
one of the
stuff,
main
yeah.
quests was to do a tier, wasn't it? Just so you
The
know
first
what
one
to do.
is
It's one of the quests,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
the first
The
one.
first
I didn't do it.
because you got to meet up with
He's like,
Impa.
fuck
That's,
that. I
that's
ain't.
Damn,
basically what
dude.
it is.
I
Simple
saw
one.
Impa, but I don't think I understood what she wanted, so I just kind of
He
said, "Fuck
didn't.
it."
He didn't know the
Yeah.
home. He didn't understand the homework, so he walked away.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna-
that's literally what I did. I was like, I'm gonna worry about this later.
I don't want to like
Let you on the
oversell this to
platform,
you
just
there,
chilling.
retro or not retro, Robert. Robert number 2 there, Terrell. But
Robert number 2. Deuce.
you're
Yeah.
gonna miss
The
one
opponent.
of the most amazing aspects of the game if you don't do the tiers. Like the highlight for me, but that's just for me. But still, it's one of the coolest.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
got to do the tiers.
I think it's one of the coolest revelations.
I don't think I think I was like not paying attention. So when she was explaining it, I was like, I don't know what any of this. I think I originally walked over to the glyph and I was like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. So I kind of
Were
just
you
said, "Fuck
streaming
it."
this or what?
No,
Were you
I was just
chatting with
playing the
people?
game.
Were you just
No,
Yeah.
Huh?
I was just playing
Like,
the game.
I did that one, and then I tried to do another one, and I'm like, because it looks simple until your ass walks over there, and you're like, oh fuck.
There is one I had trouble
Where is
finding.
this thing? And I'm like, I got frustrated, and I just left that shit alone for like 40 hours.
Mhm.
I was like, I'll come back to this at another time.
I think the one up north, the furthest north, I was looking around. I'm like, where? It should be right here. This is where it should
Well,
be because I feel like
pro
if it was a
tip,
tier,
just
it would
go-
be here.
If you see a rock falling down, reverse time and go up high. It's easier to spot where it's
Mhm.
at from the air.
Well, yeah.
I've seen the glyphs. I just don't know what you're.
Yeah, that's what I
supposed to
said. You walk over. It looks simple, and then you walk your ass over.
Yeah,
And
well,
you're
you
like,
got to
oh, fuck,
find
I
a certain
can't.
spot.
I got to get my ass up in the air so I can
on
see
every
this shit
glyph,
better.
and then
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
honestly,
That's what you're supposed to do.
without that moment, the end of where that storyline goes,
Damn it!
I
I'm in the
would
middle of
think
doing.
I would think significantly less of the game. Like that was such an awesome moment, but
I'm
whatever.
doing the side-on stuff right now. Fuck me. All right, whatever, bro.
You can do the temples. And, I
And
mean,
yeah,
it's-
finish that. Yeah,
but
it's just don't beat the game without
it's. I mean, did you like this cutscenes in Age of Calamity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're as good, if not better. So, because that
I would hope after Age of Calamity.
And you get to see plenty of Ganondorf. You know what I'm saying? Samurai
Right.
Ganondorf.
That's where you see him. Is in the
Oh.
tier.
I've seen him more as an amiibo than I have in the game.
Oh man, wait until he pulls up on you and he's not really him, and you like, whoa,
Yeah, yeah.
whoa.
That got spoiled for me.
I have no idea what that's referring to. I'm gonna
That's
just.
good.
You'll find out.
All right.
See,
I'll keep that in mind.
I would say it's not a negative, I guess, but that's one of the issues with doing an open air game. Because I was watching, like you guys know, I was complaining about this streamer playing Breath of the Wild, and it's like she was on Third Divine Beast had like 6 hearts, like doing nothing, doing no shrines, just straight line all to the Divine Beast, and missing a majority of what the game's all about, exploration and just seeing cool things and having your own story of your own journey. And I'd say one of the negatives of the memories in Breath of the Wild were less impactful, I will say, but you still had to really go out of your way. You had to I could see a casual not doing those, not caring. For me, I loved it. It was like a cool, I see a photograph, I can find that spot, and looking on the map, trying to figure out where it was.
Mhm.
I was all about it. But in Tears of the Kingdom, the same thing. Like, you put so much. I would wonder what would happen if you you progress through the game without seeing that last tier memory. Do they have a way to like tell you what happened another way?
Like full circle it.
They force it.
Maybe maybe there's a slight change to the cinematics near the end if you didn't do that one.
Whoa.
Or they tell you run away, or she's like run away, Link, and you got to go find it yourself anyway.
Yeah,
It won't
I
let
don't
you.
think it
He
would
will
stop
not
you.
You
lose.
guys are treading here. You're treading. Don't
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to even. react
spoiling
to what you
shit.
said, Sandstorm. But yeah, it's just weird. That should be mandatory. Like, you should not be able to.
No, but I mean,
To
it
the
goes
end.
against the idea. But it goes against the idea of like having the freedom to do what you want. Like
But it's
that's
such a core story thing, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I
You
don't
can
know.
have the freedom to do what you want, but I think core story elements like that you need to be able
That
to
needs
see.
to be a
what
main
you're saying
quest.
is you want more railroading in Zelda. I understand.
Well,
this.
wait a minute. What happens at the end? What happens at the end of Breath of the Wild if you don't do any of that? If you just choose to go straight to
Yeah, but
Calamity Ganon?
there's no
The-
major story tie-in with the
Right.
memories.
There isn't.
It's just fills in stuff. It doesn't. It's not like, oh my god, this is that thing.
Like big necessary pieces is that at all. It's nothing.
Oh
nothing
yeah,
major.
if you didn't do it, you didn't see the scene where Link gets his moment where
Killed?
he drops, and then they decide to send him to the Shrine of Resurrection. You already knew he went to the Shrine of Resurrection, and he
Right,
got
you knew that
defeated.
when you woke up in that bitch.
So yeah,
knew
but
something.
seriously, like I couldn't recommend anything more than to make sure you do those, because it's just. Have you got the Master Sword?
No.
Okay. That's another cool moment. Like, I got to think of those things when I'm like, and I think a lot of people with Baldur's Gate, being all hyped up, and Spider-Man just came out, and Alan Wake 2 came out recently. I think people are going to kind of forget about Tears of the Kingdom, even though Breath of the Wild came out earlier, the year it came out. Breath of the Wild was a game-changing thing. Tears of the Kingdom, it was never going to be able to recreate that, like reproduce that wow factor. It could improve upon it in some ways. It can be an awesome game, but it was never going to be that I'm playing an open world Zelda game where I can go anywhere I want and climb anything. Like, that was such a revelation to gamers that there's nothing in Tears of the Kingdom.
It's Majora's Mask. For me, that's what that's what it feels like. It's like it's not going to be as good as Ocarina of Time. Some people might feel. I've seen people say, "Oh, this is better than Breath of the Wild." I see it all the time. It's very similar in that aspect, but the wow factor for me came with Ocarina of Time. So Majora's Mask is cool. There's some really awesome things in it, but it's not going to be what Breath of the Wild was. When that thing came out, it was like, what? This is like insane.
Yeah, for me, the thing that Tears of the Kingdom, which I was just hinting on, is the story aspect. Some of the moments in the story are, for me, far superior than Breath of the Wild. But as far as the core game, exploring Hyrule, finding shrines, it's very similar. It's a well-made, well-polished game. I loved it. 180 hours I put into it, and I was so satisfied that I didn't play a game again for like 2 months. I was just like, man, I'm just so satisfied as a gamer. I don't need to play anything right now. And it's just a fact. But when it comes down to it, I honestly don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to win any of the Game Awards categories it's in. And it's a shame, but at the same time,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It is what it is. Like God of War Ragnarok, I think it won a few, maybe a technical or an act. It won Christopher Judge because he did that long speech,
right?
like
While he was drunk.
Speech.
While he was drunk at that.
Oh my lord!
But it was never gonna have the same impact of the 2018 game. Spider-Man 2. I think there's no chance of that winning Game of the Year, even if it's a better game. It's more of the same. I hate to say more of the same, but it's more of what worked, and it's everybody's.
And it's Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Oh god!
I think just by default, even though Baldur's Gate 3 is a sequel, it's been how long since the last game, and it's like so.
And the game was in like early access for like a couple of years. It ain't like this game came out of nowhere.
Oh,
People
really?
have been praising this game people have been praising Baldur's Gate forever. So,
and what else?
I knew.
I don't think Alan Wake. I haven't played it. People seem to like it, but it just don't seem. I don't see that having a chance. I think Baldur's Gate, and Tears of the Kingdom is probably second place, and I still think that's going to be a distant in the voting. If they showed the numbers, I think that would be distant. And I'm like, I love the game, so I'm not like happy about it, but at the same time, I understand. It's hard to recreate the same magic twice.
I could see Alan Wake because people loved Alan Wake. I could see where because 2 expands, I think, hugely
I
upon
haven't even watched
the
the
original
Reach, so I
game.
don't know what they've done. Because the first game's pretty clunky. I played the opening
Yeah.
hour, and I'm like, I don't know if the sequel, what they've done.
And people just rave about the storytelling in the game, so I don't know what that stuff either. So,
But yeah, I mean, would you be mad? Obviously, T. What about you, Sandstorm? Are you going to be mad if Tears of the Kingdom doesn't win any awards or wins few?
So is Mario Wonder still in that? Is that
That's in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about
it
that.
is.
So I said this yesterday. I would like for Tears to win Game of the Year. I don't think it will. No, I want Tears of the Kingdom to win. I don't think it will. I would like for Mario Wonder to actually win it, and I don't think it will. Unfortunately, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Baldur's Gate in its own. I feel like under your logic of like each of these games that are nominated for Game of the Year, I feel like they all respectively have to win at least one award in something. You know what I mean? In order to get that nomination of Game of the Year, I feel
Well,
like
because Tears of the Kingdom's up against all the other games in almost every category it's nominated in. There's at least one or two of these games in that same category. It's not like Tears of the Kingdom has a category where it's the only Game of the Year nominee, unless it's in Family Game, which I don't think it is.
no, it's not,
No.
and it shouldn't be.
it's not going to win.
Honestly, I
technical
wish
things.
I wish I could say music, but Clactic got mad at me earlier. They I don't know what the percentage is, but the majority of like the music's the same from Breath of the Wild. Like the combat, when the wolves are following you, you get that same noise. When the Hinox combat starts, same noise. The Lionel, same noise. All the like the main music is the same for
New
combat
enemies
encounters.
get new noise.
Well, what do
That's
you expect for
what it is.
DLC?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's like even riding the horse, identical. Give me a remix. I don't want to like I have 300. It's my fault. I have 350 hours in Breath of the Wild. I never wanted to hear the Hinox battle music again in my life. I hate that freaking. You know, I liked it at first, but by the end, I was just like, I would avoid even them waking up because I didn't want to hear it. You know, like, and you just
they brought back that Ocarina of Time flute.
And they just reused all that. So yeah, the main theme's new. I loved it in the trailer, but you know that's not in the game a lot. So, and then what else is in the action adventure category? I think that's probably its best chance. I'd be curious to see. Maybe that's the one. I forgot Resident Evil 4 remakes in there. I don't think that has a chance to even be nominated. To be honest.
No. I said if that's going to be nominated for something, then Metroid Prime should be.
I want to see Metroid Prime. I want to see Super Mario RPG next year. I want to see all.
Keep that energy, huh?
Yeah, keep that same energy.
I could understand Super Mario RPG. I can't agree with you on Metroid Prime because even though we said it looks like a remake, it's definitely a remaster.
A remaster.
They didn't start from scratch and rebuild the game with new elements and new. I mean, it has similar sequences.
Sometimes it feels like it did, but it's not. It's the same game.
But Resident Evil 4 changed up quite a bit. Yeah, I had the main sequence in the beginning of the village, but it does feel quite a bit different. Took me a while to get used to it. But to me, it doesn't deserve Game of the Year.
What I'm saying is, you're gonna do that. You're opening up a fucking can of worms. You're gonna start allowing remasters.
It's more of a remake than The Last of Us Part 1, where they just put new visuals on top of the old game. That this was actually built
a remake of a game that already won Game of the Year, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
Resident Evil 4
really
was
awkward.
Definitely 2004. It probably won a ton of Game of the Years.
Right. That's really awkward.
Huh? He back like Rocky Balboa.
So yeah, I honestly, without having played the game, I just think Baldur's Gate 3 sounds like the most deserving. Not my type of game. I'll probably never play it in my life, but it just feels like.
What?
Wait a minute. Was there Studio 2?
The X, baby.
Was there Studio 2? Because that was actually my real problem.
Yeah, best Studio of the Year.
Indie one?
No, Studio of the Year. I don't know if Nintendo were they nominated. Because they put out Nintendo. I think that's win
blasphemous. Yeah.
Studio or publisher?
studio, I think, because Nintendo, unless they don't give Nintendo a blanket studio because they have separate teams.
because they have a bunch of separate teams. So that's why I think Publisher of the Year makes more sense than.
Well,
But they have
EAD did Pikmin,
You did Pikmin
Tears
4.
of the Kingdom, and Wonder, if I'm not mistaken. So
Oh,
that's
those
at
are
least
different
3.
teams.
Well, they have maybe one. The house is the same, but yeah, they have different people generally working, or at least the head guys are different. Maybe the general coders or stuff are all the same for those games, but it seems impossible to have all like the same team. But I don't know how that works, but I can't remember if Nintendo was nominated. So other than that,
Should be Rockstar. Rockstar should win that one.
Wow. Yeah.
what about
Give
what's
it to
that?
them.
Cyberpunk.
Best ongoing. Eat a
Project.
Best ongoing game that's
dick.
just a regular game that had DLC.
Right.
Like, and you wonder why people question your credibility. Like
That's horrible.
it's stuff
They
like
just-
that.
It felt like they just wanted to give Cyberpunk a nomination because they wanted to before, but because of the technical issues.
Well,
they
yeah, that's what this
Mhm.
is,
They knew
and that speaks to your credibility.
they
Mhm.
received too much flack, just like with Hogwarts. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there just because I love it. I'm not gonna sit there and say, "Oh my God, this is a definitive Game of the Year nominee." But from what I played, the voice acting performances are great, but there's not like one, I guess, that stands out. They're all just really good. The music's excellent. The visuals
I
are
told you,
amazing.
the music is spot on. They
and it's
did
not
an
just
amazing
copied.
job.
Halo Infinite is not in that category. Best on what?
Yeah, how is
What?
just because Cyberpunk put out an expansion in a 2.0
That doesn't make
build
you
of
an
the
ongoing game.
That's not
It's a
ongoing.
single player. It's a
That'd be
single
like
player fucking game.
that'd been like Breath of the Wild being an ongoing game because they put out a couple DLC packs. Or Mario
Right.
Kart 8 is more of an ongoing game than I mean,
Facts.
Cyberpunk isn't an ongoing game. Period.
It's not. It's
Mario Kart
literally
8,
not an ongoing
You
game.
could make a case for Mario Kart 8 though with all his freaking DLC.
You could definitely make a case for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
But I would say it has to have a season pass to even consider nominating. It has to be one of those
Right.
games with season passes where you just
Ongoing. Like
Ongoing
they sat
'cause
there
they
and said,
were
"We're gonna
working on
put
it."
this out there. Call this an ongoing game."
why don't they just
and fuck it?
why don't they just come up with best expansion, best DLC category, and then they could
Best
give
comeback game.
Yeah.
best update to fix a game.
You can put like No Man's Sky in there. You can put all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah, you know what? I think honestly,
Hell, you could put Halo in there.
I think they
Halo
should have a
Infinite
best game
came
trailer.
back too.
I think they should have a game trailer of the year, and it could be a game that came out this year or a game that's coming out next year, and they put out an
That
awesome
would be
trailer.
Breath of the Wild to me. I'm
That'd be
sorry.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the
Yeah.
Kingdom.
It would have been God of War Ragnarok the year
Amazing.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't care. I don't even know when the Game Awards is. It this week?
Next.
Yeah.
I have
Thursday,
But there's
right?
there's way more egregious things than ongoing game. Even there's the best esports coach where the guy didn't even fucking coach and he's nominated.
Oh really?
And he was like, yo, he like tweeted him. He's like, I wasn't a coach. You might want to take me off that list.
Mhm.
And he's still there. And it's a joke. And then the other one was indie game for that one game. What is that game called? That is
Diver
not
one?
an indie game. Yeah, the diver. It's not an indie game at all. And it's just like, and he tried to. Jeff Keighley comes out and he's like, well, we can have different interpretations. No,
An indie game.
that was his comeback. It was his comeback. It was like, we can have different
That
interpretations.
just
of
tells
indie
you
game.
they're not fucking paying attention.
They don't care. Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't.
they-
They're not paying attention. Just say that. Hey, we messed up on
Mhm.
this. Don't try to come out and damage control and make up a whole new definition of what an indie game is. That's way worse.
That is I don't know what personality trait that is where you can't admit you're wrong.
It's
You're
it's
wrong. Yeah.
it's what is it? Oh my God!
It's one of them. I just don't know.
Is it a narcissist? No.
Either way, he
It's-
was putting out on
yeah.
Twitter what people want improvements to the Game Awards. Like, you're just opening up a can of worms. And I seen a couple people say less fucking commercials, more games, focus, like Rule 2 is like, focus on the actual developers in their awards. Don't just
Yeah.
brush past it, and that's what makes it so cringe to watch. Is just rattling off these awards like they meant nothing. Then why call it the
They
Game
didn't.
Awards?
They meant nothing. What means is our sponsorships
Well,
and these game reveals. That's what matters the most.
They're gonna get rid of the world premiere banner before all the game trailers.
Thank you.
So that's gonna save like 15 minutes of the whole show.
Stop lying. Why are you always
World
lying?
premiere. World premiere. It's the third trailer to a game we know about.
Yeah,
like, how is that a
we
world premiere?
saw this yesterday. What are you talking about?
So yeah, they're getting rid of the world premiere. Do more. Like, that's one step. Do way more. Get rid of the freaking. I'm just gonna rattle off 4 pointless awards. Just don't even talk about them. Just if it's like the minor, the esport awards, all this shit where someone's not there to accept. Yeah. Just put out a thing saying here are the winners. Don't even waste time. It feels like an inconvenience to like.
Didn't they do that? Didn't they do that before? But they did it with more important categories.
Well, they did it one year with was it action? They did it for Bayonetta 3 maybe with action game or.
Yeah, they did it with more important categories.
Or fighting game or something where I was like, you just rattled that off, said the person's name, and moved on. Like, for that game, like.
I just think it's like Brand Smith is basically alluding to. He said, they ask these questions every year, and they don't do shit. I think it's all engagement and to make you feel like you're a part of it. I don't think they're gonna do what they want to do, what makes them the most money, and that's what they're gonna do.
It's the Mirage.
I started watching it through other people's reactions that were making fun of, like Girlfriend Reviews is pretty good, but even then, I'm like, I don't even want to be watching it through them making fun of it. Like, I hate everything about this. It's so bad. And then they can't stop somebody from getting on stage. Like, Elden Ring wins and the stupid kid gets up on stage. Like,
the one guy with the Bill Clinton
was mean quality.
Yeah,
Bill Clinton.
That happened.
Right, Bill Clinton.
And it's like, it's just a joke. And then what was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you have major like actors in the audience. They cut to Daryl from, I forget his real name, from Walking
Dead. Yeah.
Like, show him. Was Miles, or not Miles, the Mickelson guy,
Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, I don't know if he was there, but they showed like people in the audience, and I'm like, wow, they're there. And then it was like 10 straight minutes of just game trailers, and it was not even like, it was just world premiere. I'm like, they're at an award show and you're just showing like video game trailers like E3. Like, that's just so fucking lame. From probably
that's what a lot of these gamers tune in for. They want to see reveals.
The gamers want that shit, but you got like legit celebrities sitting in the audience and you're just showing trailer after trailer after trailer. Like, that's just weird to me.
They're sitting there like, this is what gamers like. This sucks.
You see the guy next to him, he's like,
yeah, and it's like stuff like that Condemned or whatever that one year, I think. Oh, maybe that was in a E3, but that trailer was just this announcement of a game and some CG, and you have no idea what you just saw. It's like, that kind of shit. Just, that's why I don't watch. That stuff is so stupid.
To be honest with you, the only person who should be allowed to talk is the guy who's the guy who comes in every year, the French guy. It Takes Two guy.
EA.
Yeah, man. I get excited every time
that was legendary.
You just want a bunch of ignorance. That's what that is.
Didn't he like co-host it last year? He was a bigger part of the show last year.
Yeah, he was, because they gave him this props for his meme status.
I think they actually paid him some money, and he kind of kept in control a little bit. They kept him under wraps a bit, kept him lassoed in. He wasn't
only two beers. Only 2 beers.
And he was roasted.
Only 2.
Wouldn't it be great to have a show that just celebrates everything gaming?
No,
it would be great.
Actually,
I want more chaos.
The composer of these games would get up,
right,
win an award, actually accept the award.
They have a sequence when they show people who did great, cool things in gaming, when maybe they passed away or something.
Have the winner go up and compose one of the songs with the orchestra that's there or something. Have the composer go up there and play music with people. Like, have like the developer or the directors and stuff actually get up there. I mean,
all these forgotten people in gaming, like do a tribute and shit, like that would be cool.
Make Studio of the Year. Don't just announce in the Studio of the Year. Here's the nominees. Blah 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 blah. Nintendo, and the winner is whoever made Baldur's Gate 3, and then they move on. Give them a fucking award. Like it's an award show. Have trailers are fine, but have it
You gotta
be
pay the
about
bills.
gaming. You know.
You got to pay the bills.
Mhm.
I don't begrudge him that.
No,
It's
yeah.
like, well, you got to pay for this shit somehow. So,
But
I get it.
I would be curious what the total time is of the trailers. Announcing the trailer and watching the trailer is to the entire length of the show, because I feel like it feels like it's half the show is watching trailers. But luckily, Terrell, you've been streaming it for the last couple of years. You're gonna do it again.
Yeah. Was it Thursday, right?
I don't know what day it's on.
I catch the recap the next day. I don't know.
Yeah, if there's
I
a
got
cool
one
trailer
less.
the next day, that it's fine. But so did we talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 before?
In the beginning, there was like the
That
first
was
thing.
Did we
That's
actually
right.
talk about that? Was
I
that
feel like we
before
talked
got
about
on?
it before it went live.
We did. This is why I told you hit the live button.
I missed the conversation. So guess what? Let's run it all back again.
If somebody's
No,
been here,
and no,
did we
fuck
talk
that.
about it?
Yeah,
This is
on
why
there?
you're
podcast.
coming on time. Fuck you, sir.
Because I remember saying it's Vice City, and because it looks like
It's a
there's lot
it's a
of
Grand
TikTok
Theft Auto video game. Look like
Look, can I just say this? I feel
no. Oh,
and I hope Juice agrees. I feel like we've been cheated for quite a while now. As Michigan people, as the next Grand Theft Auto should have been in Detroit. I don't know how you missed that, as it is
because
called
people don't want
Grand
to get
Theft Auto.
shot all the time.
That's the point of Grand Theft Auto. It's Grand Theft
No.
Auto, and we have a
It's to
city.
shoot others. We don't want to get shot ourselves. Okay.
We have a city called
Detroit,
Motor City. How do you miss
Detroit ain't that bad anymore. It used to be pretty bad.
I wonder what
used
they
to be
would
very
change the
bad,
name to.
but I wanted to make the joke anyway, so fuck you, T.
In Chicago.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I think they'd have to do something, because they've only done Vice City and Los Angeles, whatever it's called.
Do
San-
something
Yeah.
different.
San
Liberty
Andreas.
City, Vice City, and
Tokyo,
San Andreas.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Liberty City. They haven't done that. They did it in 4, so it's been a while
Yeah.
since they did Liberty
Do
City.
Tokyo or some.
Well, you know
whatever.
when's the last time they did Motor City? Never. So I feel like that should be the next time.
I don't know.
Give
City's
us
pretty
that.
I think
small,
you
though.
just want to. I think
It's
you
a
just
pretty
want to be
small
included.
city for a Grand Theft
I
Auto
mean,
game.
I
It
mean
was
Wayne
included. That's what it
Wayne
is.
County, it'll be all right. Romulus, Pontiac, Farmington Hills, Canada, if you really want to put it on there.
Yeah, put it
Yeah,
on
but there's
Ontario.
like-
put it on my mama
It's
Ontario,
not
baby.
like a city skyscrapers like in Canada. It's just like a regular town in Canada when you go across.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
Yeah,
that's
they
where
don't
your
just do when they do
That's where your casino is.
San Andreas like adds in like Vegas and all kinds. Like they don't. It's not just the
they
one.
didn't do that in 5 though,
city.
did they? I don't think back.
No, they did worse. They melded them all together. That's what they did. San Francisco, Las Vegas,
They made
and
made
LA.
them all
And they-
like one city.
yeah, stupidest idea.
I feel
I'm
like-
still mad about that.
It's been a while since I played, like 2014, but I feel like LA was pretty big on its own. Like there was a lot of the area was Los Angeles, because I don't remember like seeing anything San Francisco. You talk in San Andreas or in Grand Theft Auto 5? Because I don't remember like San Francisco being in there.
In San Andreas?
No, in GTA 5,
Oh.
which took place.
Like I said, it was
No,
all
it's-
just a little piece of it. They weren't
they have
never
ci-
the
they have-
whole
right.
city.
They have San Francisco type things in that certain area, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Same
Really
with
steep
Las
hills
Vegas.
and trolleys and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Where-
other than that, I feel like there's something else I meant to talk about, and I can't think of it. You guys think anything?
Ooh, I like Lenny Wright's idea. That's some good shit.
GTA
GTA
Motor City.
City.
Yes, it's from RoboCop. Yeah.
Delta call that bitch Delta City, yo. Shit. Speaking of which,
Yeah,
that's a good game.
5
Bro. I'm
didn't
playing
have
that
that
game.
San Francisco stuff. That must have been San Andreas.
Yeah.
It had it had Hollywood. It had
Maybe I'm mixing them up.
Los
I don't know.
Angeles, and it had the beachfront, the boardwalk, and all that.
In a while, still played it.
Yep.
I will say all my memories are on the 360, and I've watched videos of people of the PS4 and PS5. I guess the PS5 is the PS4 version and the PC version. In my head, just like with old games, I'm seeing like what I played was on 360 was the PC version. Like in my head, that's what I played because when I think of it, that's what I'm remembering. It was damn impressive. I gotta say that was the most impressive cloud system I'd ever seen until Flight Simulator, and I love just flying around the city and stuff. It was, I mean, to me that was. I'd boot the game up just to like steal a jet or steal a plane and fly around until I looked up that video on how to cheat the stock market with the missions and make millions, and then I could buy some planes. But to me that was a very impressive like city that they created. Yeah, like T said, it had less things where you couldn't get people to fight and stuff. It kind of missing some of that charm of the older games.
I think it was Crow B Cat. He made a video like just showing all the shit you can't do anymore. Yeah, and I was like, God damn, that's right.
There's a lot less, but it's not like Cyberpunk. Like it still has way more interactivity than Cyberpunk.
Obviously, the market spoke. GTA 5 is a pretty good game.
So 6, they better. I would like to see some of that come back, and maybe if the TikTok videos that they're showing in the trailer, maybe that's stuff that actually happens in the game.
Oh man.
They showed a lot of I don't even know, domestic drama stuff in the trailer.
A bunch of ghetto shit. That's what
were they actually bringing actual cars into the game this time around?
I don't know if they'll be licensed cars, but I know some of the shots it looked it's gonna be weird if they don't have real cars because the visuals are to a level now.
Yeah, because I don't know if it was exactly that, but the one that I saw, the guy was driving around in a Sylvia, and I'm like, Sylvia, like that's an actual car. Like,
Is
what
it?
do we? Yeah, it's
They have their own vehicles.
Initial D calls it a Sil 80, and what is that? It is a Toyota. Toyota.
Well, yeah, they can.
They make cars that look similar.
Yeah. They can get around it by the body shape because you can't patent. I guess you can't have a patent on that,
And,
but
it's not like they don't have
call
the
them
money.
different things.
It's not like they don't have the money to pay license for. And I'm sure some of these car companies would want their car in there.
Yeah,
but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't want any real world stuff in there. Maybe they want it all fictional.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason they don't call it. They call it Vice City. They don't call it Miami, because there's all kinds of restrictions. I'm sure the city of Miami is going to have on them. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean that was the same with Watch Dogs. I mean, I think they called it Chicago, but you couldn't put the bean in there. Remember, it was something completely different.
I'd be curious to see how it actually looks and runs on the current gen systems, because this feels like PC footage to me. I mean, I gotta say, some of these shots look, like I said, I'd be impressed if they actually pull off that level, because that would be. Cause, I mean, they always impress. No, they always like the 360. I can't believe GTA 5 looked as good as it did, on the 360. So, they always put the money into the game engine and make it look good. But
yeah,
I kind of found I used to watch Donkey. Was it Donkey? Yeah.
Video game Donkey.
He started playing the PC version, and he's sitting there like shooting people, like pedestrians and stuff, and it looked so real that I felt uncomfortable watching it. Like, it's not as funny when it looks this real.
Yeah.
That looks like a Chevelle. That looked just like a Chevy. It's either a Chevelle or a Nova.
Yeah, they have real cars. They just don't call them the names because
But that looked. I mean,
I swore I saw a Porsche in there, and I'm like, that's definitely a Porsche. Like, that.
They just don't call it Porsche.
Yeah,
because they don't want to pay for the license, or
fucking
maybe Porsche doesn't want them in there.
Stop. I got a minute left or 20 seconds left in the trailer, and it's got 2 big pop-ups for their other videos. Like, I want to see the.
But your YouTube premium anyway.
I hate when they do that shit.
Wait, why didn't you look at Rockstar's
I couldn't
footage?
find it, but now I found it.
Yeah, it has
Rockstar
no.
got
Yeah, it has like no views on it. Almost it felt like.
Rockstar already showed off some footage. I thought that was coming tomorrow.
No,
that's
I meant
out.
like
You
that.
No,
know
it-
that?
I'm.
It got
Oh.
leaked, so they went ahead and put the shit out.
Yeah,
Oh. I mean, are
it's
they
hilarious though
surprised?
because Rockstar, because their footage doesn't have. I don't know why they didn't expect that. That is real here.
Right, like
GTA is like one of the most like
It's only
anticipated
got
games.
15 million views after 2 hours.
That's all.
I mean, yeah, that's. I feel like that's kind of low. I
After
feel
2
like
hours,
that's kind of.
and that's just
I feel
Rockstar.
like
That
that's.
doesn't
But
count.
they got more views on the shit where they were talking about. They were talking about the announcement. They got like 120 million views on that tweet and shit. It's like, what the fuck?
I say by tomorrow it's gonna easily be
Yeah,
30,
I think
40 million.
I think when a video on YouTube gets a lot of views, they have trouble like processing that shit. They
Yeah.
probably the
Mhm.
numbers are probably off.
I've actually
Yeah,
not watched.
like they
the-
come in so fast that you don't have enough
Yeah.
time to be able to. Yeah.
I never watched The Last of Us 2 remastered like trailer fully. I just saw it had some new modes and stuff. That was.
What do you think they're gonna do in the show?
Hmm?
Season 2. What do you think they're gonna do in the show? You think they're gonna do the
I-
do?
I
you
think
think
they're
they'll
gonna
stretch it
do
out?
what the game could have done and start with.
You think
Right
they're gonna
after-
do
I-
the sequel that's in the game, which is in the flashbacks?
It's going to be interesting to see if
That's
they.
what I think.
I think they're going to do the 2 timeline thing. I wouldn't mind if they just had season 2 be in between 1 and 2 game, and just have it be in between, and just show more.
Oh,
Show
you
what
think
they
they're gonna
showed in
end
the
the series on
flashbacks,
season 2?
and then season 3 could be what the season 2 game or what the second game is, full storyline, and then maybe try to come up with something. I think they said they wanted to do
Maybe
4
just
seasons.
end it there. 4 seasons, huh? That's probably stretching it.
It's gonna take
Speaking
forever
of-
with the. With
And
the
your
time
boy's gonna
travel.
be pretty busy if he actually ends up becoming Mr. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the other thing. They take 2 years in between shows now, and it's like,
Yeah.
these actors are gonna be freaking 8 years older by the time you film the 4th season. It's like,
True.
Ellie's gonna be old as shit. I think that girl will stay looking young.
Yeah, she.
Well,
I
she's
feel like
already
she's
matured.
already older.
Yeah, she's already
Yeah.
20, 19 or 20.
Yeah, so she's not she's not growing.
I wonder what this horde mode. I'm not a big fan of horde modes.
Speaking of season 2s, who's trying to watch that new Halo season 2?
Man, I ain't finished the first season. Get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here.
Listen,
Anybody want to watch Master Cheeks? I don't want to see that shit, man.
I seen Arcane
no-
season 2's
Go ahead.
not till the end of 2024 is their tentative date. I'm like, Jesus,
Good
that
God.
came out in 2021.
I'm gonna
didn't
stop
it?
caring. I'm not gonna care. Anybody
Let's go
excited for
watch.
Rebel Moon? I'm kind of excited for Rebel Moon.
I am
I
actually.
would if it wasn't a
yeah.
Netflix quality is just. I don't know if it's just my pickiness with video quality, but Netflix just looks so bad on my sit.
Will it be so good that Disney
Gets
like,
mad
damn,
and
we should-
tries to better
yeah.
themselves.
I
is like, damn, we should have
Why'd
let
you
that
say it
be
like
the
that?
we should have let him do Star Wars.
I
I
just
hope
got
it's that good.
I got freaking Jupiter Ascending vibes from that trailer. I just can't.
Real?
I'm.
Oh,
I,
come
I
on.
hope it's good, but that's the vibes
Jupiter
I got.
Ascending?
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's a higher
he-
quality, no doubt. Like, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking storyline and all the shit going on. I think it's gonna be a lot of stuff, and I love Zack
Well,
Snyder.
we
but
know Zack Snyder. He can be a
he's
little.
not the best at writing coherent stories without an established IP. Well, he's taking Star Wars stuff and making it his own, but that freaking zombie movie he did on Netflix, I thought that was garbage. I didn't like it at all.
Well, it was like like he had dead pixels in you. Like that is bad when you're a director who's made tons of movies, big movies, and you're the DP and you got dead pixels.
Well, the thing that
Your,
killed me.
your camera has dead pixels, so there's nothing you can do about
No.
that other than meticulously paint them out frame by frame, and nobody's doing that shit. And so you're looking at it, and you like look at all these white dots and shit.
The
Like,
problem
what?
I had with it is he talked about, oh, there's all these tropes of zombie movies, and we wanna make fun of them, and we wanna like be a satire. It just felt like they just fell into the tropes. They made the tropes.
Mhm.
It didn't feel like they were doing anything different with them to make them unique. They just did the tropes, and it's just like, oh, I'm seeing these tropes again, and I don't like these.
You know, all that shit we saw in the opening should have been the damn movie. That shit would look cool as shit. That looked fun.
It's like, I don't care about this annoying, stubborn female character, child, whoever was tagging along that just gets in trouble, gets people killed. Like, that's, if you're gonna
People doing dumb things.
if you're gonna do that, make fun of it. Don't just do it and have it in your movie and then have it be a
Right.
negative, you know. But anyway,
Right.
I hope. I mean,
16 million on Rockstar. Okay.
if Rebel Moon's good, I'll definitely watch it when I have Netflix again.
That's funny. He said it gave me Channing Tatum vibes. Oh boy.
What kind of statement is that?
all over your Tatum.
I think the biggest problem with Jupiter Ascending is there's this world that they try to like tell you about throughout this movie, and it's like there's so much going on, and obviously some of the stuff was some of the characters.
The biggest
were
problem
shitty.
with Jupiter Ascending is the same thing that's wrong with every Wachowski movie post The Matrix, is that there's too much shit you're
Yeah.
trying to shove into
Exactly.
one movie, too much lore, and none of this shit makes any sense. You don't have enough time to explore any of this. You got griffins.
Yeah,
Right.
You got
Got this
werewolf
lizard
griffin
creep-
spider up.
like it might.
Like, what are you doing?
Star Wars somehow pulled the first movie. You just had to accept. I mean, to us, it's just common knowledge. But back then, there's a bunch of new ideas that people never seen before.
He's a werewolf and he's a griffin, and he has gravity boots. What
And then there was a some lizard guy at some point, wasn't there? Like a crocodile.
Oh yeah,
Lizard dude with.
you got
wings.
Eddie Redmayne talking like this the entire movie.
What in the fuck?
Then you got as much as
Believe what I was saying.
I
Oh.
like her, she's not the best actor. Can't think of her name. Right now.
Miss 70s, that 70s show.
Yeah.
Mila
Oh.
Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
She's good to look
How
at.
many times did she fall in the movie? Like
Yeah.
30 times?
I will say though, as a home theater guy, that the sequence in Chicago on the boots getting chased by the
shit.
alien ships, that's a really intense, well shot, very technically.
Yeah, they're
excellent
talented.
sequence.
Wachowskis are talented in shooting sequences, but they just can't, like...
And that movie
It's
came
big.
out, what, 2015? That was one of the first.
Was it that late? I thought it was earlier than
Not
that.
to nerd out on you, but that's one of the first Blu-rays to release with Dolby Atmos sound mix before there was anything to play it on. So
I get nerdy now.
I put it on earlier this year. I want to say maybe late last year, early this year. No, it was earlier this year.
Look at
That
Terrell's
movie
face.
holds up audio-wise. It sounds as good as or better than a lot of modern movies. It's like, how does these guys 8 years ago do something better than all these new movies? Like, it's just, they got a lot of technical prowess.
Terrell's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Bro, at this point, I accept it is what it is.
But that'd be
bro.
like, that's like an older game doing things better with like AI and stuff to a new game. It doesn't make sense. It should be the opposite, you know?
Mm.
And,
Yeah.
so I will give them credit for their technical chops, but yeah, they're anyway. T, you got the Lenovo. You gonna keep it?
Yeah.
I watched your girl's video. She says
I
she
think
can't-
so.
She can't hold it up.
But...
She can't hold it up and play it for. She got to set it down. And
Oh,
I've seen another
that
video.
ain't the problem. That ain't the problem. You just gotta, like, especially if you're like, well, I guess if you're at a table, it's not gonna be portable anyway. But I have no problem holding this, playing it. It's fine. It's not great. My biggest problem with this bitch is, you'll see in my review, is that the fucking speakers are up here, and the fucking fan is right here. And I can hear the fan way better than I can hear the goddamn speakers.
Oh
Because the
no.
fan is goddamn, this shit sounds like little ships from Captain America Civil War, those fucking airships. This shit sounds like it's about to take the fuck off.
Damn.
That's crazy
It-
because the Steam Deck and the Ally, they're like people can't
It's
decide
so
which one
quiet.
sounds better speaker wise. They said the speakers on these things are
Oh,
amazing.
the speakers on the Steam Deck, I know OLED is they're better than the original one, and they're just really good. And I don't hear anything of the fan. But goddamn, this thing here, this fan is loud.
That they borrowed it from the PS4. That's why.
You know what? My old Switch. I was playing Luigi's Mansion 3, and I was taking screenshots with docked and screenshots in portable because I was just curious. So I would dock it, and then I'd take a screenshot, then I'd take it out, and not move the character, take another screenshot because I was curious what the comparisons were if I looked at the screenshots, like download them on my computer. And I picked up the Switch from the dock, and it was running in full, not full out, but higher specs in the dock. And the fan was so freaking loud on the Switch. It's the loudest. It was only like that one other time with Breath of the Wild when I pulled it off the dock and went to play handheld, and it was just blowing like a hairdryer. I was like, what? But my OLED, I haven't heard. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know if it has a fan. I've never heard even a hint of the fan.
Another problem with this bitch is that you put it in the case, you might as well just shut the bitch down. Because you put this bitch in the case, and if it like bumps, like, cause it, it'll hit a controller or something, or the top button. This bitch wakes up in here. This shit is nuclear, mo.
Yeah, that's gonna melt.
Super hot. Yeah, like, and it's dangerous. And they have the nerve to put a little flap on here where you can run your adapter cable through here, so you can charge it in there. Don't do that shit ever, because it's going to turn itself on when it's plugged in. So do not do that. Anybody, never do that.
And I wouldn't want it charging in that case anyway, because that would batteries get hot.
Right.
Just charging.
It's gonna get hot. Like that's they thought they had a good idea there. That was a bad idea.
Speaking but other than that, ideas, you remember when Terrell's idea was to keep his OLED docked and use his LCD for all his portable play?
That was an idea.
I don't remember that,
dude. You don't remember that? You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep the OLED docked, and I'm gonna just use my Redbox Switch for my portable play.
Yeah, I'm not even saying you're wrong. I just don't remember it.
We laughed at you, and then you changed it up, and then you said, yeah, that was. You
dumb. Realize how backwards that was. That was backwards.
Completely. Like, I honestly, when I have it docked,
I don't remember, but I'm gonna take the L for it because I don't remember it. But
when I dock my OLED, it's like there's no benefit to the docked experience with the OLED. I mean, I made this point. I think I made a video, and somebody tried to argue with me recently about it for some stupid reason. The kickstand, the screen, the size and the OLED, the battery life, every improvement other than the Ethernet port and the freaking dock, which I don't even have my Switch hooked up wired. That's the only thing the new dock does, or the docked experience, is a Ethernet port, which you could easily remedy with a USB adapter. So every improvement was portable play. So
that's why I never got one. I just bought the tablet part.
And now I was playing 3D World this morning. I completed World 6 and a little bit into 7, 100% in portable play earlier today. Like I want to say Mario Wonder. I played the whole special world. I don't know if I did the last.
The Joy-Cons.
And I used the analog stick. I played 100% with the analog stick in the 2D game.
Oh, TV mode.
I noticed in 3D World I struggled with the Joy-Con analog stick though. A lot of deaths were the result of the analog stick, the limited travel. It's hard not to go just full speed. There's not a lot of increments because of the run button. That's kind of the thing. It's not really analog based, but yeah, I died a lot because of the analog stick this morning. But I'm curious when Nintendo puts out the end of the year, it tells you how many hours in portable play, and usually I'm 2, 3, 4 hours. I think I'm going to be 50 hours.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do that.
Why don't I remember?
You everything.
I'm going to guess minimum 50 to 70 hours. I'm going to guess 50 to 70 hours in portable. Because I have at least 40 hours in Tears of the Kingdom, I think, in portable play.
I'm nowhere near that. I can tell you that. But the only
I think
reason
mine
why
is super low.
Because I
yeah,
did.
my kids take over mine. So
Yeah,
if I
you
if I
wouldn't
get
even know.
time
You
with
wouldn't
it,
even know what your hours specific are. I don't
Nah.
unless it goes by user and that they use your username. I don't know.
Well,
how
they
Most of my
do.
portable play was
They
on this bad boy anyway. So
because I refuse to pay for a whole family for
fuck?
Switch Online. So I make them just use my Switch Online, but they usually play it portable.
Oh.
And if I finally get the chance to play my own Switch for once, I usually
Never.
play it on the TV.
You'll
Yeah,
never
which is
play it.
never.
Yeah, I was
which is
talking
never.
to somebody. Was it during my Harry Potter stream? He said he's never had his Switch docked. I'm like, that's crazy to me. How, I mean,
Buy it. Then why?
It's not that. It's
just
not
buy
that
a
crazy.
Switch, buy a Switch Lite then.
I mean, never, not even once. Docked your system.
well, Switch Lite screen is smaller, so
Yeah, he didn't. It wasn't the light. He had the OLED, I believe.
yeah.
But he
it's
said
not a
he's
great
never
screen.
docked a Switch in his life, and I'm like, I don't know. To me, that's nuts. Like,
I remember hearing people saying that a few years ago, but still,
I heard that
right.
IGN person they hired. I forget her name. They hired her for the Nintendo podcast back when I used to listen. She's like, yeah, I've never docked my Switch. My niece said the same
Probably
thing.
either Red or
I don't get that at all.
what's her name?
It's like, I guess, but
Then you don't have a Switch in it at that point. You just have a handheld.
Right.
It is.
It's no longer a Switch.
Some tried to argue, but the handheld was Nintendo's focus. There's no debate.
We still doing this, man? We still doing this years later?
We're not.
Every decision.
I'm not
Every
doing it.
decision resulted in what we got is
Just-
based around.
I think at this point just brings up as a victory lap. Like you know you're wrong, right?
No
So
one
next
here
up is-
disagreed with me. We'll say that. No one here.
Next up is GameCube. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah. Go ahead, cover your bases.
I don't
Get
think
our GameCube hate out the way.
I don't think I brought that up in years. That part about the Switch being. I mean, maybe
I feel like we talked about this last week.
It comes up a
No.
lot.
I don't think we talked about it this year
No, that's
I know
bullshit.
that's a
That is
lot.
bullshit.
That's a lot.
on the
It's
podcast.
very recent,
It's come
yeah.
up. It's come up this year. Absolutely.
We didn't have a long discussion about it, but I remember you bringing it up.
Yeah,
talking
this
about-
is not a new thing.
I know I brought up the OLED. All the improvements were definitely in the. But yeah, if you guys say so, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't remember. It's not as bad.
that
as
sounds
the
like me a
GameCube.
few minutes ago.
We didn't dwell on it. You
Yeah.
just kind of said it, and we kept going.
Well, no one here was one of the ones that were opposed. Said it wasn't true. So, I don't have.
That's
to-
good.
We all kind of agree, I think. You've got a few minutes. I do want to
I
say.
don't even know why it's a bad thing. It was a.
It's not-
I
I want to go off the record and say I don't think it's true. I think the cartridges were for a completely different reason.
Yeah, so shut the fuck up, bro.
What?
no, you wouldn't have little tiny game cards if it wasn't
No.
portable system.
Don't even humor it. Shut the fuck up, Sansom.
Oh, you're
That was
just
like the
being funny.
dumbest shit, bro.
I thought you were
It's like I'm
serious.
watching Celebrity Jeopardy or something.
I had a moment and I was just like,
What
shut
did
the
I miss? I missed something.
We wouldn't have the
He
problem
opened
with
his
storage.
mouth
We'd have
and-
No,
discs.
it's so serious.
He opened his mouth and as
He
soon
was
as I was
very
like,
serious.
you bullshitting.
He was so serious. I'm like,
Good
I'm taking him
bullshit.
seriously, and he's bullshitting.
I do want to say I
Tired.
100%ed Mario Wonder, and I got the maximum 6 medals,
Hey,
which you have to get every top of the flagpole. You have to find all the star coins. You have to get all the badges. You have to get all the seeds in every level. And is a special world or beating the game was one.
you did all that in the game you thought was trash?
I think it's trash.
Right.
To me,
Yeah.
it's on the lower side of the 2D
Yes.
Marios for me.
Juice has some moments where he'll be like, he'll critique the shit out of a game. But I like it. And in the back, like, everyone in the back, like, huh?
Well, how can I
Like,
say
but it's my game of the year.
it's a lower tier
Yeah.
Mario game without saying why? Like, oh, if
I
I
don't
point
want
out,
to. It better not be in your game of the year discussion next month. Damn sure. I would not see that game anywhere in your top 5.
it'll be number 5 because I've played 5
Oh
games.
man.
No, but you
I've only played 5
Oh.
2023 games by the time that.
Oh,
we get
okay.
five.
All right, that makes more sense. I was confused. I was like,
So-
what?
Fair.
It makes it by default.
Oh, wow. That's so disrespectful for
That's so
Mario.
disrespectful for a game you 100%ed.
Yeah.
I want to get my money's worth, man. I 100% every Mario game I try. Well, I try.
How did you feel as you were going through it? Were you like, I gotta do this thing. I gotta do this thing.
No,
Everything's a
because
fucking chore, man.
most of the levels I just got through with the three coins and top of the flagpole and my first time through. Maybe died once a few times on levels. Like I didn't. It wasn't that I was like, oh my god, I gotta go back and play this level again. It was just like, oh, okay, that was a cool level, but I got through it and I don't have to play it again. Like
it wasn't Yoshi's Crafted World.
It doesn't have. Yeah, it's way better. Like it doesn't have. It just didn't have the levels. Didn't make me want to go back and replay them. A couple did. There's a couple really good ones. Like yeah, it was fun, and I'm on to the next level. Like that's what it was for me. It's not like oh my god, that level was so bad. I don't know. It was just like yeah, I got through it, and I think about 5 or 6 levels I had to go back and get the coin I missed or the top of the flagpole. Then there were some levels I missed initially in the map. There's some secret levels I missed, and then there's a couple secret exits that I had to go back to. And so for me, I would say some of the Wonder Flowers were so good they should have just been like a whole level instead of like a 30-second part of the level. Like there's some really cool ideas. And this is going to be a Retro Death complaint that he made about Galaxy 2. Like I said, some of those were so good that it should have been a whole level. Could have been multiple levels, not just a 30-40-second moment in one level. You know, like it feels like they had these good ideas and they were just one or two times and they were done. Like it's almost too creative. There's too many things they threw at it instead of hey, this was really fun, let's do more like this, you know. I guess that's
I told you to give me variety like this.
It almost felt like the one.
I didn't ask you for this. I wanted focus.
Get some editing.
Yeah, they could have cut out some of the lesser, like the bowling one. I mean, some of that stuff's fun as like a side level. They could have made that like some of the special badge only type levels where it's just hey, this is a little fun little side thing. But there's some really cool ones like the silhouette one with the stretch where you stretch Mario. I'd love like multiple levels with that. I don't know if they did that one twice or once. There's some really cool stuff, but it was just like it was over in a flash and I'm on to the next thing. And it's like, it's almost like a game for ADD, you know, like on to the next thing. And that's almost a compliment and a complaint at the same time because there was so many different ideas and so much creativity. I wanted more of some of that stuff. So, you know, overall,
this complaint recently. I don't know where. There's another game that has the exact same complaint.
Well, Retro said that about Galaxy 2. He's like, oh, there's these really great levels, but there's only 2 to 3 stars in each one. And I was like, well, actually, there's 2 to 3 more stars in each one once you unlock the Green Star Challenge. But it doesn't count because, you know, it was optional or something. And I'm like, yeah, you go back to these great levels. Now you got 2 or 3 more stars to find. There wasn't anything like that for me in Wonder. There's no like, hey, if you put this badge on, this level plays completely different, you know, type of stuff. So it's to Nintendo standards. It's you know, it's better than any other non-Nintendo platformer I've ever played by a lot. You know, it's still a really good platformer, but from Nintendo and 2D Mario and Tropical Freeze and all those, and it's just more towards the middle and below.
You haven't played Grapple Dog.
So, but overall, the game's gorgeous. Definitely, I think it's the best looking game on Switch.
Very pretty.
Yeah, and I guess I've mentioned this before. I think the power-ups are forgettable. Like to me, there's not that thing people are gonna be talking about, like the Tanuki suit or the raccoon tail or the
what do you mean? You're not gonna talk about the elephant suit? You're not gonna talk about the elephant suit?
I think the sleeper. I think the sleeper one is the bubble because people.
See, that does nothing for me.
Well, yeah, for you, but like I've seen the speedrunning community, they have had a fucking ball.
Does the speedrunning community like? How do you feel about it? Do you think it's like? Me? Is it?
Oh no, it's a cool power up. It's also I like what it's used for. Use it to get rid of enemies, but you also use it to make platforms for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a dual use item. Like I don't have any. There's nothing about it that I'm like, oh fuck.
I tried using it to like get places, and I didn't feel like it was very effective for me. But yeah, I'm sure somebody can master it and use it in cool ways. But I mean, New Super Mario Brothers, you didn't have like the it was useful, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna remember that. But it also had all the ones from Wii, which were you had the penguin suit, you had the ice. I like the ice. I don't know, it's ice flower one. I would say way better than the bubble. So it just for me it was just like it's a good
flying squirrel suit.
Yeah, I love the flying squirrel suit.
I mean it. I didn't love it, but when it was used, if you use it properly, it could lead to some challenges and stuff. But yeah, I didn't like
Remember
after
when
you
Peter
used
put
it,
that game out?
and then you went like that part of it. I didn't like where you just kind of slowly fluttered down to your death if you missed a ledge type of thing. But at least with like the cape, if you messed up, you could dive bomb and try to quickly regain.
Oh, come back up. Yeah.
I had that
Is
shit.
Is that the one where Peter put the game out? That stupid.
I know what you're talking about. Shut up.
That stupid. It's like that stupid Flash game that was trying to draw attention to themselves and trying to make.
I know.
You actually rip the skin off these animals and wear them, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are we doing?
Yeah,
that's why we can't take you serious. This is why.
I know exactly what he was running to when he said, "I'm like, oh, you bitch."
It was so stupid.
He brought this up. How dare you, bro?
I just remembered that just now, thinking about the flying squirrels.
Also, I started the Dead Space remake. I did the first.
The
first, section until you get to the tram station, and that's another one where they started from scratch. They didn't just put better visuals over the original game code, as far as I understand, but they really nailed, they really captured the game. They improved upon it. It feels better. It controls better. It looks amazing.
Good job.
The sound design.
We're giving props to EA. What the fuck?
I know it's weird.
Someone must have died.
And they also made it more connected. It's not just you get on this and you can't ever go back. It's all the ship's fully connected and you can go back and stuff. So I gotta say I'm impressed. I got it half off at Black Friday. It was $35.
Oh, nice.
And I played maybe an hour, and it just brought me right back. That's my favorite.
Are you gonna finish it?
Oh, definitely. I just Hogwarts is just so good. I'm having trouble. I thought I'd go back and forth.
No, I wasn't putting you on a timetable or anything.
I want
to. So sometimes
I might have to count it.
Remastered.
I might have to count it as one of the 2023 games if I don't have time to play another one. I'm thinking.
By Jeff Keighley's rules, you can add that in as your game of the year if you want. So.
Oh God.
So.
And I mean,
fuck it. Call it an indie game too. Shit,
yeah.
Who cares?
Oh,
that's my favorite non-Nintendo 7th gen game, Dead Space. I beat it 3 times consecutively, and before I moved on to the next game.
There's a category. We should do that next time. Your favorite 7th gen non-Nintendo game. Go.
Yeah. That. Tomb Raider 2013. Not top, but
actually, let's do a top 5. Let's do a top 5 favorite non-Nintendo 7th gen game. That would be an interesting episode.
Yeah. Last of Us is Nintendo, 7th gen.
Mm-hmm.
So is I said Tomb Raider 2013. There's
way Sony keeps using it won't be 7th gen for much longer.
Red 7th gen, 8th gen, 9th gen,
Red Dead
10th gen, 11th gen.
All right. Well,
we get all the gens
next week. If the Game Awards this week or next week, because
it's this week. It's Thursday.
We'll probably make fun of it next podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and
you're welcome.
We'll see you next time.
He's talking to the viewers, not you.
I dare it.